What's going on, everyone? Juice Bags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. It is election day here in the US, and it is time for us to make a choice. Are you on Team B, or are you on Team Nimbus? Let's get it. We're on Chaos 10 Molten Citadel here, and we are going to have some fun with some Dryad defenses. Now, don't forget about the green party, y'all. We are throwing some trees in as well. And we're going to triple thick vines it here. Going to go 3 trees on every lane just to get as much thick vines action in as we can. Now, taking a look through my gear here, I'm using Automation, Thick Vines, and Vicious on an anti-world tree. We got anti-melee, anti-chaos, and defense rate on mass destruction, and fleeting nature. And then on the Angry Nimbus, we went mass destruction, and power transfer. Let's give them a whirl here. We got all the pylons on our reflect beams, of course. And going to get some reflect beam action in there as well. I got a feeling this might be a little bit of some suspect reflect beam placement, using 3 trees here, so we're definitely going to have to keep an eye out for any javelin throwers or hex throwers. I think the little range goblins will be fine. Now, on the left here, we will go with some bees, and then on the right, yeah, it's so funny. If you look at the map, this is the left. We'll go with some Nimbus over here. You know what? Let's go ahead and throw the Nimbus here. So we're going to go 3... We're going to have to check the DU on this one. We'll go 3 Nimbus on one side versus... Well, we can probably go 5, maybe 6 bees. Gonna have to get the placement a little bit better here. Let's get that boost star as far up on the rail as we can get it. I mean, I guess the bees could go on the front rail as well, but I wanted them sitting there nice and clean. So 6 bees, of course, is 180 DU. 3 Nimbus is 180 DU as well. So we're even on the DU spent per side. Actually, that's perfect. It leaves me 40 left over for pylons. So we'll get just a rando reflect beam in there. And a rando reflect beam in there. And then we've got, we've got enough for a few upgrades. Let's go, let's hit the trees, just because these are kind of squishy trees. They are not proper walls by any means. Let's just go something like that, and let's let it fly here for wave number 1 and see what we can do. So, yeah, anyway, y'all, it is election day in the U.S. Anyone who is capable of voting in the U.S. should get out and vote. Who should you vote for? Whoever the hell you want to vote for. It's none of my goddamn business. So, just go vote, y'all. Go vote. I am kind of interested, though, on knowing if you all are Team B or Team Nimbus, or do you want to go with the green party here? Obviously, this build is not designed to showcase the thick vines. It's more like just a big old, huge, thick vines last resort area. I think to really showcase thick vines, you would build down here and get the thick vines doing the spawn camp here as they make the loops. Like we got enough now to get that other tree upgraded here. And once those hex throwers and javelin throwers start rolling out, I think I'm going to have a problem with going with those shorty reflect beams here. But let's give it a whirl. Actually went pretty smooth. I think for anything, you know, we of course are using three or two different single target defenses basically with the Nimbus and with the bee. Now, of course, you do get multiple bees that can hit multiple targets, but they are at heart a single target defense. It just hits up to 3 targets at a time. So the weakness, of course, to single target defense builds is going to be packs of enemies and not having enough AoE damage to clear them out. And that's where the thick vines is really payday. See, if I had 900, I think I would just upgrade all of the trees. But you know what? Let's upgrade all the trees anyway. And that last tree we'll gather some up at the beginning of the wave here to get that one dialed in. So working on some clusters. We still don't have a date yet on the next update for Dungeon Defenders 2. But we do know that there is one coming. So one thing is for sure, you know, it's a game that's all about the crafting materials, so you can never have enough. If for some reason you ever do have an enormous abundance, they also instantly sell pretty much on the player market. So as long as you have a fair price on your crafting mats, they are going to get sold just really, really fast. All right, we got our 100 for that last upgrade. Let's go ahead and get that in over here. We got a Drakenlord. I think I'm going to go ahead and pop that Drakenlord's bubble and burn him out. Just to avoid any unpleasantness. And then we got the Chieftain are indeed making the push. Now, I got anti-heal on the reflect beams, of course, with all those pylons. So we get a little anti-heal love right at the walls there. However, I think, to be honest, those Chieftain are probably going to be bubbles popped and healed all the way to full before they even get into the reflect beam area. But we do have it there, so it's there if we need it. And then we're getting enough overlap on the thick vines here where the flyers are just not going to stand a chance. Of course, as they get in closer, the Nimbus or bees will easily take them out as well. Now, of course, when you look at upgrade value, the Nimbus is a more expensive defense as far as DU goes, meaning it's going to get less value out of upgrades. But on the same note, you only have 3 of them to upgrade versus 6. So if we take a look here, the Nimbus is 595,000 rain damage with its current setup. With 1 upgrade, that's going to take that up to 685 zits, so not even 100,000 damage per shot increase. Of course, we are attacking 3 times a second, so figure that's what, 300,000-ish of a damage upgrade versus the bees. In the bees, we get what? It was 1.18 to 1.77 as far as DPS goes. So we get a much larger amount of upgrade value with the lower cost defense. But, as I mentioned, there's more of them. So it's going to cost a lot more mana overall to get all of those upgraded up. Keep it flying here for wave number 3. I think now that we got some upgrades in order, things should go pretty darn smoothly without too much tree damage. I feel like the only thing that should be making it to my walls now are Chieftain. Everything else should be dying out. Taking a little damage. That could be from... Well, I wasn't watching. That could have been from Chieftain. That could have been from ranged mobs. I'm not seeing any crazy hex thrower issues yet. Only wave 3. We'll have to see how it goes next wave. Another Drakenlord here. Let's just go ahead and get that guy burned out. And then we got a Cyclone Shaper as well. Oh, the Shaper made it all the way to the walls. I wasn't paying attention. Sneaky little Shapers. turtle build, so never the fastest way to get your clusters and run the map. I do think that this is a really good map to run, though, if you're needing cluster grinding. You know, obviously, you know, you've got massive AFK value with it being a one-core map where you could just turtle build it out in AFK for days if you really wanted to. But additionally, you can get this map running really quick as well if you did some spawn camps. And it diversifies it. If you look at it as one core with 3 ways into the core, not including flyers, you've got basically the exact same setup as Unholy Catacombs, but you do have a little change of scenery for the same crafting material. Now, of course, killing old Big Bird is never a bad idea on Embermount if you are looking for any of those Embermount weapons. And then you get the additional crafting materials as well. All right, let's just let it fly here. We are pretty smooth sailing. Now we've got lots of upgrades in. Okay, there's my Hex Thrower buddies. Did they get shots off there? Oh, they're going into the wall. How lucky. All right, so I guess my sketchy reflect beam placement was fine right there. I always talk about wanting that anti-clipping feature on that, like ballistas have on all projectile defenses, but if you give it to every defense, then you kind of have to give it to the Hex Throwers too. And yeah, that is not at all what we want. So can take advantage of that terrain with those Hex Throwers, and that is awesome. I'm sure the Nimbus is going to probably destroy. Actually, the bees have slightly better range. Let's look at the damage. See, that one has done 455 million. This Nimbus has done 990. Oh, wow, 1.6 billion. But yeah, the Nimbus per defense, of course, is blowing away the bees, even with their increased range. Good stuff on that Nimbus, no doubt. And particularly since I'm using power transfer on them. A very deceiving number if you just look at your rain damage. Since I do have a 82%, almost 83% chance to crit for 130% damage. So the vast majority of hits are not hitting for 863,000. You know, they're hitting for substantially more there, closer to 2 million. And I think we just let it fly for the final wave. We can do whatever we want with these upgrades, or we can just leave it alone. Just go ahead and dump it right here, just to get rid of the mana. Should be able to dump the whole stack right here. Pretty easily. Like my trees over there took a little bit of damage. They're yellow anyway, but actually they just turned green. So automation doing its job. Gotta love it. Mr. Ogre rolling out hot. Let's just go ahead and give him the facial treatment. We got one more Ogre coming up the mid. Actually, that one is going to get slapped, because remember, when the bees and the Nimbus work together like they are in the center lane, it is just pure devastation. They are going to shred. I mean, you take a look at that. Nothing is... Chieftain. No, Chieftain are actually popping their bubble way, way back. Yeah, nothing's even close. in the center lane. Of course, over here, it's B's only. Here comes a chieftain. Oh, wow. Well, I think at this stage we got so many upgrades in, it's just going to be a easy clap either way you go. We got some more hex throwers. Actually, let me look. Yeah, they're hitting the rail too. So 3 trees with 1 sketchy small reflect beam is just fine, it appears. Let me just go ahead and run in front of that hex thrower bolt there. Got my free swap chip activation. That's how I try to look at it. It's not that I died, y'all. I was activating my swap chips. But anyway, there we go. Once again, Election Day, y'all. Get out and vote if you're capable. Or if you're able. And, you know, maybe you've even got it done already by now. But that is going to get it for the moment. So thanks a ton for watching. Let me know down in the comments below. Are you Team Tree? Are you Team B? Or are you Team Nimbus? But thanks a ton, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.